Keep back! They're attacking!
The war between the Naagin and the Nevla didn't start with hatred. It started with a mistake. One glance, one moment of silence, and one girl who should have been dead the moment she was born. Because in Vrindapur, when snakes obey humans, it means something far worse is waking up. The sun was setting slowly over Vrindapur village, painting the sky in deep orange and fading gold. Children were being called back home. Shops were closing early. And just like every evening, the elders sat outside their houses, repeating the same warning they had been giving for years.
Stay away from the forest. Stay away from the forest.
Stay away from the forest.
Stay away from the forest after dark. But no one ever explained why. Only that it wasn't safe. Only that something ancient lived there. Something that didn't belong to humans. Zoya walked barefoot along the narrow path leading toward the forest. Calm, unbothered. Like the warning wasn't meant for her. Her long hair moved gently with the wind, and her eyes, they held a strange stillness. Not empty, just too aware, as if she was listening to something no one else could hear. A rustling sound came from the bushes. A snake slowly slithered out onto the path. Any normal person would have stepped back. Zoya didn't. She stopped, looked at it, and the snake stopped too. For a moment, they just stared at each other. Then, slowly, the snake lowered its head and moved away, like it had just been given permission to leave. Zoya continued walking, as if nothing had happened. From a distance, someone had been watching. Krish, leaning against a tree, arms folded, eyes sharp. He had just arrived in Vrindapur 2 days ago, but he had already noticed something strange about this village. Too quiet, too controlled, too many secrets hidden behind simple smiles. And now this girl. He had seen snakes before. He had hunted them, but never had he seen one behave like that. He narrowed his eyes slightly.
This is interesting. Very interesting.
He muttered under his breath. The next morning, the village was alive again. Normal. Safe. Like nothing unusual ever happened. Zoya sat near the river, filling a small pot with water. The sunlight reflected on the surface, dancing gently. That's when she sensed it. Someone watching her. She didn't turn immediately. She already knew who it was. Krish stepped closer, pretending to look around casually.
You come here often?
You follow people often?
Only when they make snakes behave like pets.
That made her pause, just for a second. Then she slowly turned to face him. Their eyes met. And something shifted. Not dramatically, not visibly, but something inside both of them reacted. Zoya spoke softly.
They're not pets.
Then what are they?
Smarter than humans.
There was a silence. Not awkward, just charged. Krish broke it. I'm Krish. Zoya picked up her pot.
Did I ask?
She walked past him. But as she did, for a split second, Krish felt something strange. A presence, a warning. Something inside him reacting instinctively. He turned quickly, but she was already walking away. That night, the forest was not quiet. It never really was. But only a few could hear its true voice. Zoya stood deep inside it, under the full moon. Her breathing slowed, her eyes closed, and the world around her seemed to respond. The wind shifted direction. The leaves stopped moving. Even the air felt heavier. Then slowly, she opened her eyes, golden, glowing faintly. Her body moved differently now, more fluid, more controlled, more powerful. She wasn't just Zoya anymore. She was what she had always been. A Naagin, not born, not created, awakened. She stepped forward, and the ground beneath her felt alive. Every movement was silent, deadly, perfect. Elsewhere, Krish stood at the edge of the same forest, still, focused, listening. His senses were sharper than they should be. Every sound, every movement, every shift in the air. He stepped forward slowly. Then suddenly, a snake lunged toward him from the darkness. Fast, precise, lethal. But before it could strike, Krish moved. Faster. He caught it midair with his bare hand, his grip firm, unshaken. His eyes changed. Not glowing, but fierce, predatory, ancient. He looked at the snake coldly, then released it. The snake fell and quickly slithered away. Krish exhaled slowly.
This village is hiding something.
Then he transformed. A Nevla, a mongoose. Naagin's biggest enemy. The next few days, Zoya and Krish kept running into each other. By the river, near the market, at the edge of the forest. At first, it felt like coincidence. Then, it didn't.
You are here again.
So are you.
Why do you keep watching me?
I could ask you the same thing.
Their conversations grew longer, sharper, more personal, but always careful. Like both of them were walking on invisible lines they didn't fully understand. One evening, as the sun dipped low again, Krish spoke quietly.
You don't fear anything, do you?
Fear is taught. I was never taught.
Or maybe you just don't belong to the things you're supposed to fear.
That made her stop. She turned to him slowly.
And you? What don't you belong to?
Maybe I'm still figuring that out.
But the truth was already catching up to them. Because in Vrindapur, nothing stays hidden forever. There was a prophecy about Mongoose and a Naagin's love, which you will find out soon. One night, an elder of the village gathered a small group of men. His face was serious.
She's here. I saw the signs. It's Naagin. No, the Nevla are here too. This shouldn't happen, da. The prophecy law. A Nevla and a Naagin? No, forbidden. Our village will be destroyed. Oh, no!
Back in the forest, Zoya stood still, her expression no longer calm. She had sensed it. A presence. Close. Dangerous. Familiar. She turned sharply. And there he was. Krish standing just a few steps away. No smile this time. No casual attitude. Just truth. They looked at each other. And in that moment, everything became clear. Zoya's voice was low.
You followed me.
No, I finally found you.
Her eyes began to glow faintly.
Then you already know.
I had a feeling.
Silence. Heavy. Unavoidable. Zoya whispered. Then why are you still standing there? Attack me. Krish's voice was steady. Because I haven't decided yet. If I'm supposed to kill you. The wind suddenly picked up. The forest seemed to react. Zoya's expression hardened.
Then decide quickly because I know you're a Nevla.
Krish held her gaze. But instead of attacking, he didn't move. Seconds passed. Then he said quietly,
I don't want to.
That wasn't the answer she expected. Her voice softened slightly. Then don't. For the first time in generations, a Naagin and a Nevla stood face to face and chose not to fight. But far away, hidden in the darkness, dozens of glowing eyes watched them. Snakes, mongooses, both. And neither of them were going to allow this to happen. The war was no longer coming. It had already begun. And right in the middle of it, Zoya and Krish had made the one choice that could either end everything or destroy them both. Because some enemies are not meant to fall in love. And yet, that's exactly what was starting to happen. The next morning, the village felt different, tense, like something invisible had shifted overnight. Zoya walked through the market, but this time, people were watching her, whispering, Krish noticed it too from across the street. He stepped closer to her. Zoya said in a feared voice,
Something's wrong.
It's too late.
Zoya frowned.
For what?
She finally turned, and for the first time, there was fear in her eyes.
Now they know.
Something is
Before
happening.
Krish could respond,
They're
a
here.
loud sound echoed from the forest. A roar, followed by hissing. The ground itself seemed to vibrate. Zoya's expression changed instantly. Krish clenched his fist. They both knew what that meant. Their clans had arrived. Zoya whispered,
This is where everything changes.
No. This is where we decide.
and as the wind picked up again, carrying the sound of an approaching war, they stood side by side, not as enemies, not yet as allies, but as something far more dangerous. Two people who were about to challenge everything they were born to obey. And the forest was waiting. And just like that, the war that had been buried for generations was about to begin again. A Naagin, a Nevla, standing side by side against their own kind. But the real question is, will they fight the world or each other? Because in the next part, truths will be revealed, betrayals will begin, and one of them will be forced to choose between love and survival. If you think this story ends with love, you're not ready for what's coming next. Subscribe now, because part 2 is where everything breaks. And trust me, you don't want to miss what happens when the war finally starts. Thanks for watching.